Well, you can't take me anywhere. You can't take me anywhere. I give up. Me and the computer are not getting along this morning. I don't know. I should have stayed in bed this morning. Yeah. Glad you're with us. Of course, Facebook Live behind the scenes brought to you by Bright Breath every morning on my way to work, and every Wednesday morning, right around this time, we do something called Food for Thought. And we do that with Bob from Greenfingers. Good morning.
Good
How are
morning.
you, sir?
I'm good because I actually felt a little precipitation this morning,
Well,
but
a
just a
teeny,
little.
a teeny little
Teeny,
bit.
teeny, teeny, teeny.
Wait, it's funny if you read the forecast from yesterday. They were saying we're going to have like heavy rain overnight
Yeah,
and
thunderstorms.
chances of flooding and the low-lying area concerns and everything else. And not so much, not so much, not so much. So
Oh, for the past 2 weeks, my phone keeps like sending me a ding ding with a weather update, and it's like rain should be stopping soon in Cold Bay. And I'm like,
but it's not raining.
yeah, it's not raining. I haven't seen anything.
Oh, never a dull moment, right?
Yeah. So that's kind of the topic for today.
It, what do you mean, rain? We need it.
No. Are you feeling rather hot and dry?
Yes,
So are your plants. So,
yes, they
how to
are.
water, when to water, some tricks and tips to kind of keep things alive. I mean, seriously, I've seen coconuts die of drought in the
Wow.
last 2 months. I really can't say that I've measured any real precipitation since the beginning 1st of July. And
Wow.
you would have had to been in right where the cloud decided to dump on you a couple weeks ago, but it wasn't everywhere on island. And so yeah, it's been very hot, very dry, and things like last Saturday, very windy, which also is desiccating.
Yeah. It. You know. I. It. The wind. It's been very windy, very hot, very dry,
Yeah.
and
So what do you do?
I don't know why. Like the my grandfather or my grandmother would always say, water early in the morning
Oh yes.
or water at night, the night before.
Well, it depends on which schools of thought.
Yeah.
Usually, the best time to water is most people, gardeners and what have you, will say really early morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Um, so most of the, let's just say, automatic systems and things that we do, we tend to do that. We set them for early morning, pre-dawn, so it's going into the lightening up hours. So between 4 and 6 a.m. is probably really good. Having said that, I will get home, and then around 6, when it's still light enough, I will check on things, and then occasionally I might have to water something. So I tend to do deep water less often. So that,
What do you mean deep water? That sounds like a technical term.
well, if you were to go, and most people are going to have a hose, but or something, but you can go and you can water, wait, repeat, wait, repeat. You're trying to get your water deeply in. And then the other mistake I see people making is trying to water every day. That rots things. Wet surfaces, wet at the ground surface can rot stems. They think they need water. And they're not watering where the roots are. So that's another one, and then I'll give you some tricks. Um, the Think of any tree. It has a canopy,
Hmm.
and out where the furthest branches go, that's called a drip zone. So just think of it as like an
So
umbrella.
so if I'm the tree
Yeah,
with my hands out, everything under here is
yeah. Out
dripping.
where your hands are,
That's the drip zone.
that's the drip line. So that's where you really want to put the water.
Way out there.
way out there. Since most people have trees, bushes, and all kinds of things going on, it's a little bit of everywhere. Another kind of rule of thumb, because not everything is just an umbrella shaped tree, is whatever the height is, you do a triangle, equilateral triangle. So if something is 8 meters tall, really the roots that are supporting it are about 8 meters away from the trunk. That's
Ah, okay. Got it.
okay. So since everything in a yard is all mixed up in one of the things you can do is drip irrigation. And you can do drip, but I'm going to start. You got a bucket
Mm-hmm.
with a sewing needle hole in the bottom because water will find a way to leak.
Right.
Okay, well, put that out near to where you need water and around a few trees and fill it up and walk away. That's going to drip for probably the whole day. And then everything will perk up. It'll have a nice deep water because it's had time to penetrate into, especially on our caliche areas and rocky areas. It'll get in deep. And then if you need to water again sometime during the week, move the bucket, put it in another spot, and fill it up. So you're going to use the least amount of water for the most amount of impact.
Got it.
I've also taken like good sized buckets, the chlorine buckets from a swimming pool,
Mm-hmm.
the big ones,
Mm-hmm.
if you can get one, or bigger. And I've drilled and put a tap in it, and you can put drip tubing. Drip tubing is not that expensive overall, and you can roll around your drip tubing.
That's what we have hooked up at my house, right? Is our drip lines.
Correct. You have drip line, and the famous sea grape tree has drip line, and the timer is set for early in the morning. So
There you go.
done. Uh, but there's some other things you can do. You can half bury a pot. So, uh, in the Middle East, in I'm just going to say Sahara Desert, they do it with clay pots,
Mm-hmm.
and you half bury it, and then you grow inside the clay pot. Two things occur. If something really is going to grow, it'll root out the bottom, and I guarantee that inside that clay pot will be quite a few degrees centigrade lower than everything around it. It actually cools it. So that's another one. And you can control things that are in pots. We had to do some large orange trees for somebody, and I actually was able to convince them to half bury the pot. Don't plant it. Because I can control the water, the food, the everything in the pot. It will root out of the bottom of a pot. It'll eventually send tap roots down. And I was like, the English monarchy and the French monarchy, they used to be, oh, that was a sign of status and orangery. They grew all their citrus in pots that was brought back during the colonial days. So yeah, don't be afraid to just basically do it with a pot, but you can buffer the heat and retain the moisture that goes through the pot and then into the dirt just by kind of half burying your pot. So there's a lot of interesting tricks if you're trying to do field growing. You should see what they do in very dry Middle East and African countries where they create circles and then they're planting in those circles. And it's a good way to do agriculture when you really don't have lots of water. Here, everybody should have a cistern of some sort or some kind of water storage because we do get rain. Um, but there's a lot of places on planet Earth that there is really no cistern, so you're reliant on whatever's coming out of your tap. And that's not getting any cheaper.
No.
You
No,
know,
it's not.
so timing is, early morning. Yeah, I'll give you an evening, but the reason they don't, that's maybe number two, is a lot of people tend to overwater. So if they're trying to do it every day, they tend to rot and get diseases. It's possible. If you just do it early in the morning by an hour after sunrise, most of the surface stuff has uh, evaporated. So you get it down low. The other one is I've been known to within my own yard just go out with a cordless drill and a mason bit and aerate by drilling just straight down while I'm having a cup of coffee and punch a whole bunch of holes. So, because I'm on very hard uh, soil area, so I just need to get the water down deep fast. So it aerates it, which is good, and gets it watered. And they have all kinds of things like that. But so, drip is good. And I'd been asked a question on what would you do on like a desert island, and then how do you like kind of produce your own water? Funny enough, there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
There really is, and that's coming along. Where you can get X liters of water per day to do something, and passively. So for people that want to take that a step further, that's a possibility. There's Chile and southern Peru, where they've put rain gauges out and not recorded a drop in 145 years.
Wow.
And so that's where NASA tests Mars explorers to see for signs of life. But there's a community there, and the clouds come rolling through. And I've got to imagine that they're fishermen. And at 200 meters up to, say, 1,200 meters going uphill from the coast, that's where the clouds kind of go through and then burn off as soon as sun is up. But all the fishing nets would be glistening wet with dew and then drop. So they just created a mesh and put basically a gutter, and you can produce up to X number, depends on how big a curtain you want to make. And that's how they get their water. So, yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, water is precious and necessary. Yeah, and these days, there's so much on the internet, it's not funny. But, if you're trying to do water conservation to keep you hydrated and your plants hydrated, yeah, go slow and drip.
I love it.
All right.
Food for thought. Thank you, sir.
You got it.
Cool. Of course, Greenfingers.
2 locations. The Point Blanche, heart of Point Blanche. Just if you go towards the cruise ships, just keep bearing left. I don't think you're going to miss it. And then behind Coal Bay, directly behind the Burger King and kind of behind the Divico parking lot. But you got to turn in before the Burger King. If you went through their drive-through, it would put you right beside us.
There you go.
You can't miss it.
Easy peasy. Always a pleasure to see you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll do it again next week.
You got it.
Ciao.
Ciao.
It is 8:32. Here's everything that's happening tonight.